Hi Sagittarius, welcome to Magpie Moonchild. My name is Kayleigh. This is the weekly general Tarotscope for your sign for the week ahead. As always, the housekeeping is down below. So if you want to know how to book a personal reading or wow, you need to speak up this week, Sagittarius. If you want to book a reading or you want to know what deck I'm using, Golden Girls Tarot, by the way, or how to find different aspects of your natal chart, it's all down below there. And also the subscription button if you feel so inclined as to follow me on this journey forward. Yeah, it's really weird. I kind of feel like there's something you want to get out this week, Sagittarius, and it's really like it's just stuck there. Like I'm on the verge of just spilling it out. It's about to come out. So I don't know what it is. Anyway, it may not even be tied to your reading, but if there's something you really need to say to someone or you need to speak up about it, you need to find either a safe space, somebody to carve space so you can talk and process that out, somewhere neutral in order to get that out and just kind of process, or you need to be telling the person or dealing with the situation directly with communication this week, Sagittarius, in order to kind of clear that throat chakra and speak some truth this week. And it may not, I think it's hard and you don't want to say it because it's something somebody doesn't necessarily want to hear. Or you're worried that what you say will leave you rejected. But either way, that truth has to come out at some point because I think it's reached crisis point for the way that's feeling. Anyway, let's see what we have for your sign for the week ahead. Wow, if I get this Hanged Man much more, I think I'm going to cry. The last three reads have had this Hanged Man and I have shuffled this, riffle shuffled it several times. But the Hanged Man is again holding yourself in suspense. You are being a martyr. You are not speaking your truth right now, Sagittarius. You are choosing to hold this in, to withhold it. And it's like you're waiting for somebody to come along and go, the time is now. Or you're waiting for the other side, the other party to do some action. You are holding yourself in suspense and only you can choose to relieve yourself of this in this situation. You can either find a new perspective, you can either find a new point of view, a new way to look at a situation, or you can bring new energy in entirely. You can either stay where you are, which feels painful, by the way, to be hung upside down by your head. It probably feels like your head's going to explode or something's about to come out. You're about to spill it up because you cannot keep staying in this position in this way anymore. So very much a need to change this. You're being a martyr for no good reason. All you're doing is damaging yourself by doing this. So you either need to speak your truth to either the person involved, or you need to get some sort of person in where you can gain some sort of perspective of what's going on. So it may well be you talk it through with a friend or somebody that is not attached to the situation directly, but they understand you and you trust them enough to go and have this conversation, because it feels like whatever it is that you want to say that you're holding yourself in limbo for, it's really important, but the reason you haven't acted is because you're not sure how it's going to go down. So you need to find a safe space that you can trust to kind of, not even them give you advice, but just kind of talk it through in order to kind of get some sort of perspective of what's going on and just get a handle, because right now everything's upside down and you just need to kind of look at things from a different point of view. It may well be that you need to tell someone something and you're kind of looking at a different scenario and you're holding yourself in and making yourself ill almost by not saying this, speaking this truth. And you don't want to say it because it's not easy and there's going to be ramifications and repercussions the other side. So it's almost like it's fear that holds you where you are. Yeah, just make sure that you have someone you can talk to, or actually if it comes to it, speak to the person directly that it affects. And it may be that there's more than one person you have to say it to, just because there's so many different coconuts on there. There's a lot going on. It's there for a while. You actually neglecting your own nourishment in this situation as well. And I don't just mean like eating food, material nourishment. I'm talking about soul nourishment. You're actually also suspending your soul, and your happiness and your heart and your emotions are all being held in suspense because you're not living and expressing your truth. Therefore, everything is being held and upside down and in a different... It's not healthy. If you're affecting one form of energy, your energetic bodies, then it's also going to affect you physically or mentally or emotionally or spiritually. If one is out of balance, then everything kind of has a knock-on effect and it gets knocked out of balance in the other ways. Let's see what the advice is, because at the moment you are choosing to be in this situation. Sorry, the puppy was winding the cat up. It might be her birthday, but it's not acceptable. Okay, so let's see how we can get you out of this situation with regards to being in suspense. Let's see what the other card with this is. It's the Three of Cups. This may well be that you are reconnecting, you are assessing relationships. When the Three of Cups comes up, sometimes this is a third party kind of thing where you're possibly in love with two people, or there is the potential or the temptation for there to be a third party situation where there could well be emotional cheating. I don't know if it's cheating if you're not acting on it, but there's certainly feelings attached to another person this isn't just two cups in a relationship. There's a third person or a third emotional set of things coming in. So it may well be that this is to do with you having feelings for another person that isn't necessarily the partner that you're with. But when the Three of Cups comes up, it's almost like it's also the reunion and celebrating beautiful relationships that we have, those ones that bring us balance. When the Three of Cups comes in, I often recommend that people have a look at the relationships that they're in and whether they are balanced and healthy, or whether they need some form of healing or adjustment in order to make them balanced, because there's not energetic exchange, mutual energetic exchange. So it may well be that you are in a relationship with someone and there's this kind of blip and you keep harkening back to somebody else, either around you or from the past. And I say the past just because it's the Three of Cups. Sometimes it's the reunion card, reconnecting with someone from the past. But yeah, there's somebody that you're considering that you have or are emotionally attached to in some way. And it's almost like you're comparing the two things. And where you are right now, you're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. And you're like, I feel this one thing, I love this person, but I feel this one thing for another person. And you're kind of stuck in this limbo land, which is kind of why I kind of feel like you need to have somebody you trust and go, look, this is going to sound ridiculous. And I'm not acting on anything, but I need to just process what's going on in my head right now. I love this person, or our relationship isn't great right now. Things are out of whack, out of balance. I'm giving more than I'm getting, or I just don't feel the same as they do. We're not in this good place, or we're okay, but I feel this way about this other person. Regardless of what's going on here, I feel this way about this other person, or I can't keep forgetting. I can't get this person out. They're always in the back of my head, and I always wonder what if, or I always feel like this is unfinished, or I want to investigate this thing, or I have these feelings about this person. And it's just like you need that time and space and reflection of looking at everything from not just where it is right now, but other perspectives. So not just looking at the person that you have feelings for, but how, if you acted on that, what repercussions are here in this relationship. Or it's about looking at the bigger picture and how things can have a knock-on effect, and how you even feel about those scenarios. Like, are you willing to lose this person if you choose to go and find out from the ex, or this new person that's come in and tempted you, or you have these new feelings for? Where do these feelings come from? Do they come from a lack of something here and you're looking for something that's lacking here and just pinning it on this person? Or do you genuinely, are your feelings transitioning? I'm not saying that you can't love two people. Absolutely, I believe you can love more than one person romantically. Love isn't just about romance either, by the way, but this feels very romantic. You can love two people in different ways, or equally, or unbalanced. It doesn't matter. You can love romantically more than one person, and I'm not judging anybody on that, because I believe polyamory does exist, and it's within the human nature to have that part of yourself. What you do about it, on the other hand, involves having conversations and having discussions, firstly with yourself, and where do you sit with that? Is it a case of you are considering a polyamorous relationship where you become a throuple and bring this other person in? Or is it a case of, no, duality is the only thing, it's only the two of us, or the two of us, and anything outside of that is cheating? It's about having an open and frank discussion with yourself where you even sit with that, and then having that discussion with your current partner, or even having a discussion with the other person. There has to be an assessment period and a look at where your connections intersect, and where you sit on the spectrum of polyamory, where your partner sits with that, because you may well be in a place where you can have a healthy, open relationship, But you cannot have a healthy, open relationship if this relationship isn't stable and solid in the beginning. So you need to assess the relationship you're in right now, because it may well be that these feelings are coming from an unbalance in this relationship that you're currently in. And if it isn't, if this is long ingrained and something that's happening where there's some sort of poly love, you love more than one person in that way, then you need to look at how you work with that and where that sits with you and how you progress forward from this. Do you allow yourself time to step away from this one in order for you to give yourself time and without the extra guilt of grieving the loss of this one or this one not happening? Or do you agree to, and I don't want to do the whole Ross and Rachel, we were on a break thing, but only you can decide what path forward from that. There is no right or wrong path. Only you can know what your right or wrong path is. But this is a suggestion that you are torturing yourself in some way between two people, whether that's an ex, whether that's... The only way to truly know is to have actual conversations with people, whether that's an external person that is not involved, that you can just process and get your head around everything, whether you sit and reflect on your own, whether you have a conversation with your current partner, whether you have a conversation with this person, bearing in mind if this person... If it goes wrong and they tell this person, then they're going to be like, that's cheating. Or they might not, but you have to have conversations with people to even make a decision. You cannot make a decision of how to move forward until you've covered all the bases, all the perspectives, and got all the information. So it's about having open and frank discussion with yourself and others in order to see where you are, because, there's a choice coming up. There is a choice coming up. And when the Lovers card comes up, it's a big choice that has far-reaching repercussions. Do you stay where you are? Do you go with this person? Do you just go, do you know what? I don't need anybody and I'm staying single. It's a love decision. And I don't always say that with the Lovers, that it's a love decision, but this suspense and this Three of Cups, and it may well be with the Three of Cups that you are reconnecting with somebody from the past, but equally it could be you choosing the choice between what is right and what is easy. One is going to make you fulfilled. It's going to be a hard path, and it might well mean that you're single for quite a while. It may well be that there's two options to this, that you step away from one because that relationship isn't healthy, and then once you've kind of got over this one, then you can decide whether you even move forward with that one. You don't have to jump straight from one to the other. You can take this stop in the middle where you prioritize yourself and then decide where you want to go. But either way, only you can make that decision. You just don't want to make it because it's hard and because somebody you care about is probably going to get hurt, or you've already made a big decision. Maybe you've committed to this person. Maybe you've, I don't know, got a child together or a house together, or you're married, or you've got engaged, or you've been together for a really long time, whatever it is. It's hard to leave that because you've invested all that time and energy. So absolutely, that's going to take a lot of grieving. And do you want to carry the burden, the baggage of that grieving and that adjustment of coming out of that one straight into that one? It's better that you heal yourself and then move into the other one. But that's just advice that's coming through. You don't have to do it. You, as with any reading, you have free will. You can choose to do and say whatever you want. This is just a reading of the energies. But it really does feel like a big pivotal moment for you this week, where you're deciding, how do I progress? Where do I want to be that truly makes me happy? Where you want to be is probably going to be quite hard work to get there. It's going to take a lot of work and a lot of effort, but it will be worth it. It will be worth it on the other side of that. You just don't want to make the decision because it's hard. You just want to leave yourself in extreme pain rather than hurting and upsetting anybody else. But in the long run, if you are in having an affair already, whether that's emotional, physical, texting, whatever, if you're in that place already, you're already kind of doing damage to the other party. So it's about how you move forward. Do you stop it right now and not hurt your current partner, or only you can make these decisions? You have to weigh up all the perspectives. That's not really very helpful. Either way, you're going to have to defend you're going to feel defensive. You're going to feel attacked. People aren't going to understand where this has come from necessarily. They're going to have a lot to say about it. They're going to tell you that you've made the wrong decision, the wrong choice. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. You have to own it. You have to follow your own intuition of where it is you're supposed to be and what it is you're supposed to be doing. There's strength and resilience. You do have the strength and resilience to make this decision, to make this choice, and to move forward from this point. I hope that is of some use to you, Sagittarius, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Bye for now.